Hello, this is Nam. I'm trying to create for my APOTU world a working lighter and working box of matches. So I need some kind of flame thing, and I thought let me just record all of the process just to see where I fail, most likely. Because it's going to be involved. But to start it all out, I will need the model of a flame. So let me just get started with that. And I, of course, want to use a very much block type flame. I think I'll extrude the bottom here as well. Oh, I still have a selection over there. And one single point here. I'll bring this into Cinema4D for some UV mapping and reshading. But let's see. I might want to use a little rounded off top here, like so. I'll be animating it with a set of bones, maybe. I'm not sure if point cluster animation gets taken over correctly via Cinema to Unity. Never try that. So I'll just be using some bones and joints, some simple animation. Might be interesting. Is this flamey enough? I guess. So it will be the outside. I'm gonna use a different shape, well, slightly different shape. For the inside, you know what? I'll be modeling that by hand. I'm not currently, I'm not currently using this method, because I don't know if you know, but in the current versions of blocks, there's a face being created here, which can be handy to reform the brushstroke, but is awful for use with transparent objects. So I'll just be creating one simple starting shape. Oh, I forget that I should then press the trigger, and just using extrusions to handle the rest of the modeling process, like so. This is kind of a nice. Oh, guess my it was because I had accidentally had something selected that the mesh doesn't show up. Do I round off the shape here? I guess I do. So let's do that first. Just bring it down to a single point here. Oh, we have an outside flame and an inside flame. And really, I'm expecting I will want to have something like a extra sphere shape over here to maybe bite out the shader, but I'll be using a Cinema4D sphere for that. I could, of course, let me quickly try, model a sphere by hand. Oh, excuse me. But why should I? Well, maybe because it will look nicer. Let me try. Can I model a sphere? Okay, I give up. Let's just do that by hand in Cinema4D. So this is, I think, all I need. And the rest of the process will take place in Cinema4D. So let me switch over and see you guys in a bit. So here we are, Cinema4D. Turn on the grid. Let me put in a character for size reference. Oh, that's fine. Let's make it a bit too big, so it's good to work with. I already imported this. Had some trouble getting my tablet to work with the new Oculus driver running in the background. They were interfering with each other, but we're here now. So we have inner flame, which is still on the inside. Outer flame. Let me first remove the normal tags and rename the materials. This flame outer, outer, and flame inner, like so. I'm gonna put just a few shaders on here so I can see how it looks. First, for now, on the put on enhanced gel opacity. Fresnel might be weird on this shape because yeah, it's so blocky. Well, let's see what happens. We'll have to invert this Fresnel. Do we really? Let's have it transparent at the edges as well. I don't know why there's refraction activated here. We don't need that. Let's turn the transparency here down a bit. Like so. Outer flame can look like this. Let's put this on. Just add in a bit of overall transparency. So outer flame. I'm gonna duplicate it. Flame inner. Oops. There we go. Luminance, reddish, transparency, a lot less. And we'll have you on the inner flame. We'll want to use a UV map on these ones. So let's, and I just want a gradient moving from here to here. So I'll just create a very, very simple projection. UV, see, frontal. Oh, this is the inner flame. Well, never mind. And let's just scale it up. Fit it to canvas. Fit UV to canvas. That's fine. This one, projection frontal, fit to canvas should be good. Back to my normal layout. I'm probably talking a bit softly. Let me try and increase volume. Okay. I could, of course, well, considering that I might want to animate the inner flame in a different way from the outer flame, I think I'll keep them separated. I love how the 0 point is neatly at the origin of the flames right now. Love it. So, small flame. We will need a few bones in there. So let me go in here. Oh, I think I have my joints turned off. Here they are. And one for the one for the end. We don't really need that. You just want. Let me see. Yeah, just let's just this on the axis here. Just display this. We don't really care much about the shape of these things. So bottom part, top part. Let's just weigh them, bind them, and let's also bind them to this one. Okay, should be good. See, beautiful. Oh, I'm in access mode. Okay, timeline. Usually before I start animating and rating and stuff, I zero out all my coordinates. Just over here, freeze all. So I'm sure they will always start at 0, and I can always go back to how I started. I will want to have position and rotation animation, no parameters, auto keyframing. I usually set my key interpolation here to overdub and remove overshooting off because it's better. And then I will want to have, let's see, how are we gonna do this? Let me see. I think we will wanna have one animation like here. Let me see and how that times. Yeah, that's just 2 seconds. It feels okay. Excuse me. This is where the flame is in motion and just alive. And then we'll make an animation in front of that. Here's like here for when it gets lit, and animation after that maybe for when it gets extinguished. Let's see. So I want to animate scale as well. Let me just set some initial keyframes here. This is my loop. First some position then. Where's my z-axis? Okay, that way. It doesn't really matter, but just some fluctuation to start out. This is probably too much. Okay, let's try and do some scale animation. I'm gonna try and do some non-uniform scaling. I'm not sure if that's smart, but we'll see. It might mess with the rotations of the child bone, maybe. I really hope you can't hear my neighbors here, because they're having one of their stupid idiot rows again. Okay, this should be okay. Let me add some rotation over there. And just see where the flame is going and just lag the rotation behind a little. Maybe. could be randomizing this a little, but I'll just keyframe it. Should be good. Okay, now for the second bit, I'll use mostly rotation here, I guess. Maybe a bit of scale. Let me do scale first. See what happens if I do that. Just copying this animation around. Yeah, that works. Rotation. That's ugly. Oh, I want to have it lag behind this way as well. Move that one. Just mostly doing this purely by intuition. Not sure if it will look good, but we can always fix this later, of course. Well, looks like it could be a flame. The only problem is now that we can clearly see it looping. Let's see, can I fix the looping bit? I usually do for fixing my looping stuff is just copying these keyframes, for example, over here, and these keyframes, just a whole group of them over here. So the interpolation at the loop point is more or less the same between the start and the end. Usually that makes loop look good. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Okay, so now for the starting out bit, I just need 1 second for that, I guess, and I want it to end in this pose. Let me just put 1 keyframe as well over here, just so I am sure that there are keyframes on all the tracks. And I guess I should of course animate the transparency in as well, but I will do that in Unity. Okay. I'm imagining that it might be nice to have it bulge out first. So, and then go thin like that. And then just add a little bit of wobble before it comes to a stop. Yeah. Okay, we need more wobble. Let's do 1 keyframe like this in between. There's your wobble. So thick, elongated, thick, and let me and have it come to rest. And this won't be played as a loop, so I'll just leave it at this, but I want some rotation as well. So maybe a little bit of displacement. What's this? That's a flame springing to life, right? More or less. Let me see. Position in this case is secondary to the rotation. So I'm just keeping the volume here. More or less logical. Yeah. That's my ignite. Well, of course I should absolutely add some rotation to the top of the flame, just to add a bit of... Let me see what happens if I do it like this. It's probably a bit messy in the interpolation department, but could be nice. Yeah. Well, except for that first bit here. That's really too much of a good thing. Maybe so. I'm not sure which axis I'm animating here. This is a definite case of gimbal lock here. Let me see what happens. Yeah. Let me remove this one. And just try and animate one axis at a time. Oh. How's this? Yeah, I don't like what happens over here. So I'm gonna bend it this way. And see what happens. See if this looks good from all angles. Yeah, this could work. It's just a quick little animation. Probably will be more like this in speed once I implement it. And now I'm thinking maybe I should at least implement a extinguishing animation to 40. Let me see. Yeah, let me just try. Come on, what can go wrong? There we go. Another loop to fill in. Because I imagine that a good extinguish animation could go just upwards. Oh, this should really go. And disappear. Like. And maybe rotate while it does so. Well, let's do that in a bit. First the scale and position. And of course, again, within Unity, we will probably want to also animate the transparency of the object. I could do that in here, but I don't think it translates well into parameter animation like that. Doesn't come over via FBX to Unity. So I'll just see if it's a bit quick at the end, which is nice, but not from here to here. So let's do it like this. Okay. A little bit of rotation, and I think it's nice to just do something like this. Just have it rotate while it disappears. And then let me see if it's okay to do something with the rotation of this flame, just to give it some extra shaping. Zero it out. That's a bit weird, right? That could work, but let me then also provide position animation so it doesn't look weird and bendy. So, snuffed it out. That's 180. Let's do my scene until 180. So, we have an appear animation, a staying alive animation, and a snuff out animation, which is really all we need. Okay, so I'll be exporting this as FBX. And let me check. I will go over here. I have a hot link to my APOTU asset folder here. Let me see where in the models I put this. Let me. Oh well, let me just make a new folder with effects. Small flame, FBX, yes. Tracks, bake. This we don't need, like camera splines. Let me see. Normals. This is all well. This is all fine. Okay. Should be good. Still working. Sometimes when I export, something gets deleted, so I make sure that everything still works before I save and switch over to Unity. Okay, I'll switch over to Unity and see you in a bit. So, while Unity is loading, I can fill you in on the troubles I had getting this all to run, and nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, but I don't know, my Wacom suddenly, well, I have a Cintiq, suddenly started to decide that it would fail to use the right mouse button or the right clicky button on the pen for Unity, so I started reinstalling stuff. And now my Cintiq is broken, so I can't use the tablet right now. I need to do it all by mouse. I hope the noise of the mouse isn't too bad. I'm used to using the mouse, but really for recordings and for pointing at stuff, I really like to use the my Wacom. But alas, I thought before I try and fix those issues, really, because I probably need to contact Wacom itself, see what they can do for me. I'll just finish off importing the flame into my Caravan project, just so part of the whole process is at least done. The scripting and stuff will probably have to wait for another day, but let's see. So I already dropped the flame into here, into effects, and here it is. Beautiful. Also a little ugly. Let me just drop you in here. Could I do that with Control N? Yes. Well, it begins squashed, of course. But seems like it imported okay. Let me see. Animation. This is the important bit. Let me first try and implement a bit of shading to the thing. Like so, it's transparent. It could also be fade. No, let's do transparent. No shininess. Alright, that's what transparent does, and here we will use a yellowish orange. Yeah, that's what transparency does. It overblows the emission color. So if I turn it down, it gets transparent again. Maybe I should use fade after all. Obviously, we don't want to use any color in the albedo channel for these two. Let's use fade for this as well. You can go, yeah, like so. Probably wanna use another shader here than the standard one, but for now this should do. At least we have something to look at now. I always try and change the default shaders, the one that gets imported with, because then your preview here also starts looking a bit good. So model, I think we can leave this all as is. Shame about this is probably that it will calculate tension space for the flattened version, but I don't think that will be a problem with a little flame here. I'm quite sure we have 3 animations. First was ignite. Like so. Starting from 0 to 30. Yes. Might be smart next time to use a few frames of the full object so that the preview here isn't as nasty as it is now. Anyway, this isn't looping. The next animation is from let's call it wake. We can always change the names here. Is from 60 to 90. No, 120, I guess. Let's see. Loop. Beautiful. Yeah, looping nicely. And the last one was from 20 plus 30 is 150. Oh, not the name. Come on. Snuff out from 150 to 180. That should be good for the snuff out animation. Beautiful. Cool. Apply. And so let's see. I'm just gonna put this into its own game object. So I can make this into a prefab and ignore the model here. I should really put this into effects, right? Yeah. Here's the small flame. Here's the animator. Let's make a controller for the small flame. Animation controller. Animator controller. Small flame effects. There we go. Oh, this one. Oh, how much I hate working with the mouse. But well, small frame effects. And let's see. Nothing in here yet. We don't need the entry and exit nodes probably. But let's see. We will need the awake, the ignite, and the snuff out. Come to think of it, we might also need an empty state for when we'll say that. Or when the game starts and the flame isn't ignited yet, so it's hidden. We don't really have an animation for that yet, so we just use motion of none. This will be the default layer state. We're gonna do some triggering, I guess. Parameters. Trigger. Trigger ignite. I always call my triggers, start my trigger names out with triggers and use camel case, small letter here, big letter here. It doesn't matter what you choose, but at least if you choose something, be consistent, because that's the most important part. Trigger snuff out, like so. So we have a transition from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Awake is a bit, let's call this one flaming. I like that better. Can we also call the animation flaming? Yeah. Good. And okay, so from hidden to ignite will happen with trigger ignite. Exit time, nope. I cannot preview it and says, oh yeah, the source doesn't have a motion. It's not important, because this will happen nicely. This will just happen at the end of ignite, and it seems good that it just looks like this, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, it looks like a good transition. Sure. And then from flaming, we will trigger a snuff out. Trigger snuff out. There's no exit time. It can happen at any moment. Just let's see what happens if we just do it like so. Maybe very quickly. And I guess snuff out here should be increased in speed. And that looks good. Good. So we have a small flame here. That will, when we start, will show no animation at all. There's a root motion display here. That's silly. Oh well. Then when we put the animator over here, trigger ignite, it will come to life, and we trigger stuff out, it will disappear. Oh, and I forgot to also make this. Oh, I can't drag this when it's playing. That's a bit silly. We have to make a transition to this. Let's clean it up a little. Let's see, snuff out to hidden. Just at the end of snuff out should be. Yep, it will just stay there, and we will have to deal with hiding it in another way. So this is my flame, and it's on, and okay, cool. Okay, now let's do a little bit more, because this was a bit simplistic maybe. Let's just add a little small flame controller. Throw the code into our code here. Create C# script. small flame controller. There we go. We can go on that object here. I'm too quick not quick, but impatient. I want to drag it on immediately. There you go, small flame controller. So now I'm gonna type on camera for the first time. Hope my voice still makes it through. Are we sounding okay? Whoa. Should be good, right? Okay. Reformat the shit. Always reformats. I should really create a default state for this. So let's see what we want to do. Usually when I have a controller for something like this, no thanks, I will I usually just look up the elements I need for controlling this automatically. So I just need the animator for now. So let's just add a private variable animator, call it animator for a week. I always pick up my references in awake, so I'm sure I have all my references in order when the start function runs and things start really working. So animator is like let's component in children animator. That should take care of that. Why is there a space there? That's ugly. So what do we want this to do? I guess we will wanna just spawn this in. I think we may wanna hide the game object, the flame game object. So on start game objects set back to false. For now, let me just in a button of sorts. Ignite flame. If you want a really simple button, just put a bool in here. Let me show you how. So there's a checkbox I can click, and then in update, when it registers that that bool has turned on, if ignite flame, you can do stuff, and every update we simply turn it off as well. So the do stuff should be a function, public void ignite flame. Let's call this run do flame. Do ignite. That's not a word. Do ignite. There. And now everything's screwed up. So, and this should be ignite flame. This public function here is what we're gonna call from the rest of this system. For example, when the user just holds the lighter and then presses the button, it should call something like this. So it's a public function. And we just call it in here. So let's place the header in here to remind us that these are debug functions, just temporary things. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, sometimes. Cool. Debug to ignites. Apply. The only thing that it will do is anim.gameObjects set active true. Then immediately, I hope this works, set trigger ignite trigger name, and this will be a string. I try to keep stuff like this. I could hard code it, but I might want to use it for other things. So what was it called? Ignite trigger name, ignite trigger name. Select on trigger ignite. Oh, and let's public string snuff out trigger. Let's remove the name. Is in this case trigger snuff out. There we go. This should work. Compiling. You can see here if it's compiling. Yes, this should be the correct trigger names, right? Trigger ignite, trigger snuff out, small flame, yellow, to ignite. There we go. And snuff it out. Oh, I can't snuff it out. That car might be a bit loud. I hope I can talk through that. What's happening to my desktop audio? One moment. I think, yeah. Oh god. Oh. That's gonna happen again. Whenever I play Unity like this, the Oculus driver will hand off control to Unity here, and as soon as I stop playing, the new Oculus driver seems to be caught, I can see it by the audio here, in limbo before it reloads the Oculus home environment, which it does now. So we'll have to put up with having a bit of extra audio here now and then. Oh well, should be okay. Anyway, this thing works. I will also add a snuff out, do snuff out here. So same trick, if do snuff out, then we snuff out flame, do snuff out, is false, void snuff out flame. I could probably... this is interesting. Of course, I want to, when I call the function snuff out flame, I want to play the animation, do snuff out, and then wait for it to finish. And only then I want to deactivate this here. So we can do that a few ways. Yeah, this probably won't work, right? Do snuff out flame. What's the problem? Let me... Is that just a typo? Clear? Oh, that was just an old error. Sorry. I'm always trying to immediately fix my errors when they pop up. Sorry. Anyway, when this gets called, the snuff out process should start. Then after the animation plays, the game object should be set inactive. This can be done a few ways. I could, of course, just enter a delayed value and then after this tell this component how long it should wait before turning this off. But a nicer way to do that will be to just watch the play state of the snuff out here. And since we're, well, we'll have to make sure, maybe, I'm thinking out loud, I know, maybe we can add a function call in this here. Add behavior. That would mean an extra script, and I find that a bit messy. What I could also do is check if this state here, this state name, is the one that's running. And as soon as that's running, I'll just hide the object. Let's do it like that. So I will want to have a string here. String hidden state name is equal to, oh, and suddenly Windows decided to switch my keyboard back to UK English. And now I have double quotes. Oh, that's okay. Is hidden. Okay. We will need, no, we don't need to keep state variable because the state of the animator game object is what we can use to check if we're hidden or not. So here's what happens. If I'm gonna do this every frame, it might be smart to object to cache the game objects instead of, because normally we would like check if it's visible by doing something like this. Game object dot is active in hierarchy or active self, but then we would check the game object variable every update. Let me hover, and as you can see, that's a get function, so some code is happening there. So we will just cache the flame object, And that flame object, we can cache it here. Flame object is equal to get flame object, like so. It will mean that we can also use it over here, use it over here. Excuse me. So if it's active, and let's add an extra boolean, a hidden boolean, is snuffing out. We will set this is snuffing out to true over here. This snuffing out is true whenever we're in the process of snuffing out and game object is still active. We will check every frame if the animator name is the one, the state name is the one we give in here. It should work, right? If I always have to look these functions up. Get current state, animator state info dot name something. This is a function, so something with name, short name hash. Okay, equals. We need a short name hash here because that's quicker to look up. So hidden state name, short name hash. What is that? 1 moment. Short name hash is just an integer, so we have a private integer here. Hidden state hash, and we will wait for the animator to initialize and set the hidden state hash here. Hidden state hash is animator get name get hash. Oh, right, get hash code. No. Oh, this one I might have to really look up. We want string to hash. Yes, this one we need is hidden. Well, this is a static function, so we could just as well initialize that over here. I thought this was animator specific and to do with layers and stuff, but I guess not. Okay. If this is equal to hidden state hash, let's first dump out debug.log hidden state entered, like so. So here we check if we're actually entering the hidden state while we're in the process of snuffing out and we're still active. If that's so, we will turn this snuffing out to false, and what's the code? Flame object set active to false. Oh. This should do it. Let's check for bugs. Oh, there's a bug somewhere here. If animator gets equals hidden state hash is an integer. get current animator state info doesn't take. Let's see, we need a layer index. Well, it's on layer 0. So this should fix it. Yes, here we go. Compiling. Alright. So, get ready for a surprise. We play. We select our small frame object. I really hope the sound isn't too loud. Maybe I can do this live. Hello? Yeah. Okay. We hit do ignite. There we go. It keeps looping on flaming here. We do snuff out. It doesn't do anything. Oh, that's correct. That's because we are only snuffing out here and we're not setting the trigger yet. So set trigger snuff out trigger. This is, by the way, the reason that I always add things like trigger and name and stuff to my parameter names, because when you start typing, you know you called it snuff out something, and then you can see this should be the trigger name, and this is a boolean and stuff. So there's a small tip for you. Now this should work. Let's wait for the compile. Go. So we ignite, starts flaming, we trigger the snuff out, and it does hide, but not very prettily. If we snuff out right now, nothing happens, which is good. Ignite. Seems we have to ignite twice. That's not good. Snuff out. Ignite. Oh, that's not true. Snuff out. Ignite. Snuff out. Ignite. Snuff out. That's probably because the snuff out and ignite. Let's see. So here, that's the problem with triggers. This gets triggered if trigger ignite is set. Let me check. Let me do it without these buttons. So if I set this trigger, oh, are you not? What's happening here, man? Oh, that's because it's disabled. We really need to do it via the thing here. But watch this space here. I put it do ignite and do snuff out. Wait a moment. I'm gonna have to be a bit tricky here. I will select my master object here and lock the editor and select this one. Let me check if it can make this happen. See what happens? Imagine that this trigger snuff out gets set some time between here, well, between here and here. It will not get reset before it reaches the flaming, and it will just immediately snuff out again. And that's something we don't want. So what I'm gonna do, as soon as I ignite the flame, I'm gonna reset the other trigger. Snuff out trigger. And the same here, just to make sure. Reset ignite trigger. Just to make sure that if this might be on when we're snuffing out, it won't immediately trigger the next state. So let me put that Alt up and Alt down, shift your lines around. So I put a reset trigger just to be sure in front of the set trigger. Don't think it matters, but hey, better safe than sorry. So now this should work. We do ignite. Come. There we go. And we snuff it out and immediately. I'm not sure, but I think it's a stable system now. Ignite, please. We're now flaming, so I can't ignite it. Oh yeah, it gets reset as soon as we oh, yes, should be good. Only thing that's not pretty here is when it keeps showing before it gets turned off, and that can be easily fixed by just, let me see, unlock the editor here. So the snuff out runs only a few moments after snuff out is finished. Does it get hidden? Because it only gets hidden as soon as it reaches this point here when this state starts playing. Maybe even this point here, I'm not sure. So what I'm gonna do is just see, put this on the very end. God, the traffic today is horrible. The very end of the state here. So exit time is exactly 1. Transition duration is exactly 0. And that should fix that. So it will. You see it here? Immediately when it freezes, it should be hidden. Let's see if that's the case. Here we go. Turn it on. There's my flame. And snuff it out. Yes. Turn it on. Snuff it out. Cool. So, I guess that's all for now. I will wanna continue this some other time when we're gonna implement motion for when the flame is moved about. It should of course rotate backwards and forwards, so it looks like it's dragging behind a little. But for now, this is working. So, I hope this was not as chaotic as it was for me with all the tablet troubles, and I hope the sound was okay enough and that it was helpful. So, till next time, thanks for watching. See you around. Bye bye.